Hey everybody, we are here for the live for the Georgia Pro Day, which is supposed to start momentarily. Welcome to Zeni 62 on YouTube and Oakland News Now and the blogs of the Zeni 62 Media Network. And for another great and rousing day, in this case, this is for the University of Georgia's Pro Day. And for another great and rousing day, in this case, this is for the University of Georgia's Pro Day. And for another great and rousing day, in this case, this is for the University of Georgia's Pro Day. And there we go. Get rid of the loop there, right? Okay, and line things up here. The Zoom meeting has not yet started. Okay, so where were we? Here. And then here. Georgia Pro Day. NFL draft. Live stream. And okay, there we go. Aha. So we are let's see, one moment, please.
Okay, Eleanor, can you hear me and everything okay?
Yep, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost there, folks. Here's the Zoom meeting right there. It's just a matter of time. So there we are. Okay. And
balacera fue reportada.
All right, sorry for my silence, folks. Welcome, and we're waiting for the Georgia Pro Day to officially start. And right now, the Georgia media representatives have set everything up. They have made an announcement in the chat that it's a press conference. You can always record a press conference. That's a really odd question. I see that asked a lot, but it's a press conference, folks. So press conferences are commonly recorded for public view. It's not private. So whenever a press conference is staged, you should always assume, first of all, that you can record it. Otherwise, why would they have press there, right? And these are press people who ask the question. You know, wild. Anyway. Okay, there are 61 participants this time, roughly about double the number of people that attended the Georgia Tech Pro Day yesterday press conference. So there we are. My objective is to really learn about the draft eligible players that Georgia is presenting from a standpoint of how they answer questions and everything else. I don't plan to ask questions. The reason is that unless something burning comes up that I feel is interesting, but the reason is that there are a number of people here who are part of the standard beat who know these players much better than I do. And I think it would be disrespectful for me to walk in and try to jump ahead of them for a question unless there's some observation that I feel is so noteworthy. So much has to be done that I'll chime in or try to chime in, right? But there are a lot of people out here who put in hard work in covering these players, and their time should be respected. And you'll get to know them just by listening to and watching this press conference live stream, you know? So with that, we're waiting. And I am going to get a quick bottle of water. Be right back. So if you are with us, also we are waiting for, eventually we'll have Tyson Campbell, Ben Cleveland. I'll put up the list of people that we expect, okay? We expect here, these are the players that we expect. It's a good list. Tyson Campbell, Ben Cleveland, DJ Daniel, Malik Herring, Trey Hill, Richard LeCounte, Trey McKitty, Jamie Newman, Monty Rice, Eric Stokes, and Mark Webb. Those are the list of players representing Georgia that are expected to speak before the media. Welcome, everybody. I don't know if you saw this or not. These are the players that are expected to appear for the Georgia Bulldogs: Tyson Campbell, Ben Cleveland, DJ Daniel, Malik Herring, Trey Hill, Richard LeCounte, Trey McKitty, Jamie Newman, Monty Rice, Eric Stokes, and Mark Webb. Welcome. Welcome to Zeni62 on YouTube, OaklandNewsNow.com, and the networks of Zeni62 Media. Okay, so Rick Saratella has the unofficial Georgia Pro Days, which I will post for you momentarily here for your information. I can read them. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll do you one better. I'll copy them here like so, all right? And what I will do is post them here so you can see them. Here are the unofficial pro days, and then that way they will be in the video, right? So welcome. So here are the unofficial pro days, courtesy of my longtime friend Rick Saratella, and they are here. Excuse me. Let's see here. They're also talking about, let's see, here is right there. If I can get that out and then posted there. Okay. And then show. Okay. So that's not a good one, is it? Let me hide that one. That's lousy. I'm just going to read them off to you. Okay. Or I think what I'll do is probably post them one by one. Well, I think I'll do it that way. Okay. Richard. Yeah, here we go. Richard LeCounte had a, this is in reverse order. So Richard LeCounte, 4.83, and I'm going to post them in the field once I write them all down, okay? So it's Richard LeCounte. Monty Rice is a 4.82. These are 40 times, okay? Then Aji Ojalari has a 4.60. Mark Webb is a 4.56. DJ Daniel, the quarterback, is a 4.5 on the nose. Tyson Campbell comes in at a 4.37 blazing. And Eric Stokes is the blazing of the Blazers. And he is at 4.34. So now I'm going to post them in order of speed. This is fastest. Eric Stokes is 4.34. Tyson Campbell, 4.37. This is according to Rick Saratella of NFL Draft Bible. DJ Daniels, 4.5. Mark Webb is a 4.56. Agiola Jalari is 4.6. Monty Rice, 4.82. And finally, Richard LeCounte, 4.83. So those are the 40 times posted during the Georgia Pro Day, according to my friend Rick Saratella of NFL Draft Bible. I've known since 2006. So, yeah. Okay. Welcome, by the way, everybody. I'm Zeni Abraham. You're at Zeni 62 YouTube and Oakland News Now on the networks of Zeni 62 Media. And we're waiting for the Georgia Pro Day to start. I have posted the 40 times as reported by Rick Saratella of NFL Draft Bible from the Georgia Pro Day, and I will re-announce them momentarily so that you are up to date. Eric Stokes is 4.34. Tyson Campbell, 4.37. DJ Daniel at 4.5 on the nose. Mark Webb, 4.56. Aji Ojalari at 4.6, which I think he actually plays faster than that, but that's another story. Monty Rice is a 4.82, and Richard LeCounte, 4.83. Those are the 40 times of the Georgia Pro Day participants who ran the 40. You have a feeling that Presley Harvin might be, with his directional punting skills, might be a first rounder. That's going to be interesting. I mean, you don't find that kind of talent just growing on trees everywhere, you know. Dog Nation says it's clear a few guys who really made some money today with their performances at Georgia Pro Day, and most notably Eric Stokes, who's got the fastest 40 time. Another comment here. Great that Eric Stokes stand out with a tremendous pro day. Let me allow you to see what I am referring to. Well, if I show you now, I can't split screen it here in this presentation. It'll be nice for StreamYard to be able to allow me to show two screens rather than one, because right now you're seeing one screen. And if I show you the other with the tweets, it's like, eh. So what I'll do, absent that ability, is just talk to you about it, okay? Anyway, Jeff Dantzler, who is covering the pro day, says that Georgia football standout with a tremendous pro time by Eric Stokes. No surprise, tremendous ball skills. He gets picks and scores TDs and 40 times. Won state title for the 100-yard dash in Georgia. All you need to know. And this is reported that, wow, hold on a second. I think Rick's going to have to update his time, because it's just reported that Eric Stokes here ran even faster. Get this, folks. Look at this. Eric Stokes ran even faster. 4.28. Oh, man. 4.28. That's crazy fast. Is that a first rounder or what? That's cha-ching. Cha-ching. You hear the cha-ching in the guitar from the song Money. Do 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 cha-ching do 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 do. Oh my Lord. Eric Stokes. Got to compare his 40 time to Mr. Askew from Georgia Tech. So is Mr. Askew a poor man's Eric Stokes? We're still waiting, folks. We have 67 participants here. $68 participants. Ben Cleveland ran a 4.28 at the Georgia Pro Day. Steelers head coach and GM attend Georgia Pro Day as well. Kirby Smart said about the Georgia Pro Day, according to Lance Curley, yes, sir, it finally feels normal with NFL scouts and coaches in the building. Oh, here we go, folks. Nope, I guess not. Yet. You want to see that quote from Kirby Smart again? Here. And again, that quote does not come from me. It comes from Lance McCurley. Lance McCurley is a reporter covering UGA and Georgia's Lake Country for Lake Scotty News, University of Georgia, Grady. He's an alum there. So just saying that's Lance McCurley's credit there. And here's another note from Pat Leonard that he's the NFL Giants beat writer, that the Giants or secondary coach Jerome Henderson is working out Georgia DBs at today's pro day. Please, oh, here we go. Someone make sure that you talk to the players and tell them not.
All right, everyone, again, thank y'all for joining today. We are going to get started here shortly. We're going to start today with DJ Daniel. Please mute yourself if you have not already done so, obviously, to ask questions. And we shall be starting very soon. Thank y'all.
DJ Daniel. He is a UGA QB. He is up next. Up next. There. So just so you see that. That fellow's just appearing randomly. I have no idea who he is. He is not DJ Daniel. Folks, for the record, he is Brian Sudge. So there. Wearing a San Diego hat with all right, here we go. Well, it's Christopher Lacos.
Hey, DJ, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm good.
All right. First, we're going to start with Anthony Dasher and then Brandon Sudge.
Hey, DJ, good to see you. Saw you down at in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, and you seemed like you had a pretty good effort there. Having gone through that, was there more on you at Pro Day this week, or just a matter of the continuation of what you did down there?
I say the matter of the continuation. Like going down there to Senior Bowl, feel like the same thing to me. You just competing against the top players now. So this thing was a great experience. Felt the same to me though.
Hey, DJ, so I want to ask about one of your former teammates, Eric Stokes. He's kind of had his speed on show here at Pro Day and over these last couple of showings. I mean, like when you've experienced his speed, like what can you say about it and how it can help him in this time of finding his spot in the NFL draft?
Oh yeah, Eric Stokes. That's my guy. I've been knowing Stokes in high school. He always been a track star. So I remember back even in high school, like he was running like track, probably like one of the fastest time there. Like I was saying, like Stokes, yeah, he's most definitely been a track star. So and making that transition from track to football, it was like a good transition for him too. So like he most definitely can adapt to an NFL team very quickly.
Okay, let's have John McMullen and then Mark Gahn.
Sorry, you guys can skip me. Sorry about that.
Okay, and then we can start with Mark. Okay, not sure if Mark has a question, but then we're going to go with Chip Towers and then Mike Griffith.
Yeah, DJ, just how did you feel about your performance today? And just can you describe, what it's like for a guy like you that's somewhere in between, people everybody's talking about and, just trying to continue your career?
I feel like I did very good today. I feel like I did good on my 40. I feel like I showed out my ball skills pretty good and my strength. I feel like I did more better on my vertical. Like first coverage it is, I feel like no corner in this draft better than me and man. So I'm most definitely gonna wake them up. Just like basically what I said like in the Senior Bowl. I want to answer all questions. Being like I was hurt this past season. I really limited to everything. I don't even think I was like 80% throughout the season. Being I had a low ankle sprain, grade 3, and just being back healthy, feel great, feeling like my old self, really like better than my old self now. So just me, just getting back to my rhythm, like how I normally am, and how I know I can compete and be one of the top corners that it is in the draft. So I'm just ready to go.
Thank you, man.
Hey, DJ, can you, two things. Can you share any of your numbers from today? I know everything's kind of unofficial. I don't know if you got any ballpark stuff. And then was there any thought to coming back? You look at Georgia, those positions are wide open. Like you said, you were injured. I know you got great 2019 tape, but what was the decision-making process to come out? And then also, what kind of numbers did you think you put up today, or if you got any feedback?
Gotcha. Some of the feedback I got from my 40, I feel like I don't got lower, even more in my 40, but it was like unofficial 4.46 and 4.47. And and just me just talking to God, most definitely just talking to God, talking to my family, and just like knowing what my draft grade was gonna be. Like if it wasn't like the first through 3, like just talking about it, I most definitely gonna come back with no question. But if it's more definitely late in the draft, I most definitely gonna come back like regardless. So it was like the big decision of me entering the draft. So like I was saying, if it wasn't the first through 3, I most definitely gonna come back.
Okay, up next, let's have Raphael Haynes.
Hello, DJ. Raphael from the 3-point conversion. Knowing that you got invited to the NFL Combine and they didn't have it, so you have this pro day, your one shot. Did you have more anxiety coming in today? Was you nervous? Was you amped? How was your feeling coming in today?
I was ready to go. I was talking to my family. I really ambitious. So like I really got tired of like all the training stuff. I was just really like ready to go. And just like I had got that invitation to NFL draft, like the combine. And being there was canceled due to COVID. Like it was probably one of the biggest dreams I ever wanted to do. Like just competing and just doing everything at the combine. But just being here made like a little slight. You can say it was like a little slight little combine. But I feel like it was probably been a different experience if I was there. But just coming in today, I wasn't really nervous. I really like ready to go. I felt really prepared. I know what I was gonna get. I know what I could have even got better in. So I was just really ready. Really wasn't that nervous today.
Just a quick follow-up. What cornerback do you pattern your game after, or you paid attention to where you say, okay, this is who I play like or who I like in the NFL?
I say Patrick Peterson, Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Darius Slay. Like I say those guys praise themselves on technique. Like me, I praise myself on technique. Feel like I can't really do nothing without my technique. I'm always getting better, like on and off the field about my technique, seeing what I can do to improve it. See if I just one hand jam, 2-hand jam, or just switch it up like all the time. So those really the main players that I pattern myself off of, and I really watch.
All right, and the final question, let's go with Mark Weiser.
I'm good, but he answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, great. Instead of that, let's do Dan Wolkenstein.
Hey, DJ, Dan from the Brawl Network. You mentioned your skills at press and man. Also, you've seen folks talk about your skills at zone as well. Talk about your versatility. I know that's kind of a big key for folks looking for that in the NFL. How do you think your versatility translates to the NFL?
My versatility, like, I feel like it's one of the top. Being that, like, me making that transition from like here to Georgia, like, I feel like everything was more physical back then. Like back at high school, JUCO ball, I feel like everything was more physical. Me making that transition from Georgia, everything was really more mental. I feel like everything more mental. You have to be mentally ready. You have to be mentally ready for the practice. You have to be mentally ready watching film, studying film, walkthroughs, all that. And so just me having the confidence in myself that I can really lock down any receiver, and me just, like I was saying, having the confidence. I feel like there's no corner in this draft. I say this like most summerless way. Like I feel like there's no corner in this draft better than me at man-to-man. And just me making that transition from the NFL, I feel like I'm gonna shine my rookie year. Being like, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I know the team that's really risking for me to be on that team. I feel like I'm gonna get on my own. Most definitely, I feel like I'm one of the players that never going to get comfortable. I'm just ready to go.
Hey, just a quick follow-up. If there was a wide receiver you're looking to go up against in the NFL, who would it be?
Jamal Adams. Most definitely Jamal Adams. He's a route runner. I was looking at his routes. And he very, like, some receivers are predictable. Some receivers do the same thing. Jamal Adams, like, and really, like, you try to see, like, what type of receiver is he? Is he a 50-50 guy? Is he, like, back shoulder? How he get in out of his breaks? Is he a speed release? Does he like the shimmy release? And I say Jamal Adams, like, he do all the above. So just me locking up against him, that'd be one of the best.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Thanks so much, DJ.
Thank you.
All right, guys, and just going forward, I know that some of you are raising your hand if you have a question. That is very helpful. So if you don't mind, just whenever you do have a question for the player, raising your hand and then also taking it down whenever, either if your question is called on or whatever, that would be great. So thank you so much.
All right, next up, we're going to have Mark Webb. Hold on, let me.
Are we good to start, Eleanor?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, great. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Folks.
All right. First, we're going to start with Mike Griffith and then Rafael Haynes.
Hey, Mark, a couple questions, 1-2 punch here. One, did you consider coming back for another season and the decision there? And then two, how'd you feel about your performance today? Did they get you any projected numbers?
Who wouldn't consider coming back to the best university in the world? You know what I'm saying? I think all of us considered it. And then I feel like today, I did all right. It wasn't unexpected, but I did all right.
Hey, Mark, Raphael from the three-point conversion. Just in saying that, what are some of your attributes that they can't see during this pro day or on film that you say are your best attributes?
I could do everything on the field. I'm versatile. Whatever you want me to do, you could do it. Special teams, anything. I ain't probably the craziest, probably no crazy burner like Stokes or Tyson, but I get the job done. I'm versatile. Play backer, play safety, play corner. You want to put me a receiver, quarterback, play it.
And then a quick follow-up. Is there anybody in the NFL, any cornerback DB in the NFL that you would pattern your game after or you like?
There's a couple. I know you've seen Jeremy Chin this year. He's a stronger guy. He's bigger than me, but he plays hacker, but he could play safety. He could play nickel. He could play in the nickel spot. He can guard your best tight end. You got Jamal Adams playing a box, blitz, one of the best blitzing DBs out there. Tyson Campbell, the brains, you get what I'm saying? Can do it all. Don't matter about size, none of that. People that just get it done, you get what I'm saying?
All right, up next, let's have Alex Fleming and then Fran Duffy. Alex, I think you're muted. If you don't mind starting back over and unmuting your mic, that would be great.
Mr. Webb, how are you?
Good, yourself?
I'm just fine. I'm not muted anymore. Your versatility and the diet change that you're going through now that you're transitioning from college to NFL. Plus, you have a teammate who believes he's the best corner defensive back coming out of this year's draft. What separates you from the rest of the pool, especially Patrick Surtain from Alabama?
I'm versatile. It's just like I was brought up like this, you know. I started out, you probably won't believe, I was probably one of the best nose guards to ever touch a pop on the field. You get what I'm saying? So I always played just about anything and anything that was asking me. You get what I'm saying? I love the game. You get what I'm saying? And Patrick Surtain, great corner. Great corner, and we got great corners on our team. You know what I'm saying? And people that I was training with, some of the best players that I've been around, you know what I'm saying, in my career, fast, physical. You get what I'm saying? Patrick Surtain is fast, physical, has great technique, great press corners. I've been blessed to be around these great press corners like Tyson, Stokes, and DJ. You get what I'm saying? Rich, he's also great. He can get up there and pressure if he got to. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just blessed to be around all of them.
Are you going to gain weight for the NFL, or are you going to stay at your same playing weight and just see if someone takes a flyer?
I play it wherever they want me to play it. I mean, if they like what I'm at now, then I'll play at that. But none of that matters on that field. When you're on that field, whatever weight you are, that's what you're gonna play at. And that's what I'm gonna be. We're still gonna be physical, be versatile. Whatever you want me to play, I'm still gonna be a player at. Whatever way you want me to play at.
All right, Fran, do you still have a question?
What's up, Mark? So I want to ask you to kind of separate two of your teammates here. One, the first part of my question is just all the guys you competed with today out at Pro Day. You could bring one with you to the NFL. Who would you bring with you and why? It could be offense or defense. Just pick one guy. Who would you bring with you and why?
Why can't I bring them all?
Because you only get one. You only get one in this scenario.
You can't do that because I got all types of different personalities. You know what I'm saying? I need each and every one. You get what I'm saying? That's a hard choice. I can't choose that one. If you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I need each and literally like it's like a million different personalities in each and every one of them. I can't choose. I'm sorry.
All right, so then my next question for you is just this. Obviously, a senior-laden defense, a lot of guys moving on to the NFL, especially in the back end. Who's a guy that we're not talking about right now, but a year from now, maybe he's standing up at that podium, or we're all going to be talking about him from a national standpoint?
I feel like next year you'll hear a lot. It's not just one. It's really all of them. But you're going to hear a lot about Lewisine, and you got Chris Smith. One of the best two safeties I've been in the game with. Love the game, physicality, play to the standard. You get what I'm saying? Those are going to be your leaders in that back end. Special, very special.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, and the last two questions, we're going to go with Matthews Cornelius and then Rob Kuester.
Mark, good afternoon. Mateus from Brazil. My first, it's a question about the Senior Bowl. Like in the year, like with the COVID and all the problems that the players and the teams and the scouts have, what's the big deal or the importance of the Senior Bowl for the players?
The Senior Bowl was for the players. Like, y'all can't really understand. Y'all probably can't talk about emotion, but that was the biggest blessing that I could have asked for. It's Pro Day, biggest blessing I could have asked for. I didn't think none of it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I kept hearing it was gonna happen because Jim Nagy was telling me, he was like, "Oh, I got it planned." I was like, "I don't know. They keep shutting down stuff. I didn't know what was gonna happen or not." It was a blessing to go. I'm very surprised that we had it, and I made the best of it. I went there and had fun. Met a lot of new guys. I'm just blessed that I had the opportunity to go.
Take care a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mark, hey, what's going on, man? Question from Philadelphia. A couple of Philly-related things.
Hey.
What's up? So when the scouts ask you two things, when they ask you about coming from Philly and how much that has impacted you and your development and your success, and then when they ask you about your family and the people back that helped make you reach the point that you're at right now, what do you tell them about the impact of where you grew up and the impact of the family that surrounded you?
I don't think a lot of people know about Philly, and in the last upcoming years, probably about, let's say, in a 4-year span, you don't really see this progression of Philadelphia athletes, like football athletes. You don't hear too much about Philadelphia football players and stuff like that. And we grew up, all of us primarily, we grew up in a tough environment, coming from Philly. And I know everybody that's from Philly, has that grit. You get what I'm saying? And when you come to the field, you're going to bring that grit. When you come, you always want to compete no matter what weight, how tall, how big. I'm willing to go against anybody and everybody. You get what I'm saying? And that's just the Philly in me. And I had to say, the people that helped me get here, it's so many of them. You know what I'm saying? First, I had to thank God, and then I had to start with my parents. Shit, it's crazy. Sometimes I get, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really a big emotional guy, but they did a lot for me. And there's a lot of people after them that did a lot for me. And I'm just blessed for the opportunity to still be here and compete. So that's why I go hard every time I'm out there on the field.
And if I could real quick just follow up with, I was just with Coach Devlin talking about your time at Wood. And, last time I saw you, you were a wide receiver at Wood, just pretty much unstoppable in the Philly, Pub versus Catholic League game. Can you talk a little bit about your transition that you made, those of us that kind of, last time we saw you, you were a wide receiver, and now, you're here at the NFL stage as a defensive back. When that happened, why that happened, and why you feel comfortable playing the position that you're now in on defense.
I had to say, it first started out when I came here and I was playing receiver, which I still truly love. And I was playing it, and I'm playing it and playing it and playing it. And I'm just trying to get better. I'm always willing to get better and do drills after practice, whatever it takes, to be the best. Whether I'm getting the ball, blocking, whatever. I just always wanted to be the best receiver possible. You get what I'm saying? And then when I came to college, special teams was a big thing. And I love to compete. I wasn't used to special teams like that, but I knew that was probably with the first team, that first team, that national championship team that we had, that was a very, that was a very great team. We had a lot of receivers coming in, and I just knew, at that point, I was going, hustle, do whatever I had to do to get on the field. But then I got presented before the Notre Dame game by Coach Smart opportunity to play DB. I was running down on kickoffs before that, just trying to abuse as many people as I could, having fun in practice. And then next thing you know, he asked me, and I knew he had a pass with switching people over. So I just trusted him. I just wanted to play. I really didn't care what position. I don't care if he put me in left guard, left tackle. I was going to play it. I just wanted to get on the field. This is my dream.
All right. Thanks so much, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, and just one more reminder, whenever we are asking questions, we do have a lot of guys that we're trying to fit in. So if you don't mind just asking one question, and then if you do end up having a second, if we do have time, just raise your hand, and I will try my best to get to you if time allows. Thanks so much.
Well, so far, folks, Georgia's got a heck of a group once again.
All right, next up, we are going to have Tyson Campbell. And Catherine, we are ready to start. Okay. Hold on one second. All right, Catherine, we are ready to start when you are.
How y'all doing?
Perfect. Hi, Tyson.
Right.
All right, first up, we're going to start with Mike Griffith and then Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Tyson. I guess I just want to ask you about your workout. The number you ran, it looked like you might have hit the mark from what we saw on television.
From what I'm hearing, everything from 4.34 to 4.39. I wanted to run 4.32, but I'm happy with 4.39. But my main focus was make sure I was looking well in my drills and looking smooth.
Hello, Tyson. Raphael from a 3-point conversion. Is there a particular attribute that you have that won't show on the pro day or on film?
I would say that I'm a dog. I think a lot of people get misconstrued by that just because I let my play do the talking. But I'm a fierce competitor.
All right, perfect. Let's next have Chip Towers and then Daryl Ledbetter.
Tyson, I just want to ask you about the 40-yard dash in particular. It's an amazing metric that everybody depends on so much, and you come from a sprinter's background. Eric put up a 4.2 something today. I know you guys have been very competitive in that regard the whole time you've been in Georgia. I mean, is that a situation where you knew that he was a little bit faster than you, or did you feel like you could run as fast as Eric does? And how much do you think it truly matters in being a football player and a defensive back?
I feel like I could run with anybody. But, Eric is a hell of an athlete. But like you said, we're football players, and we're just blessed enough to have tremendous speed. But at the end of the day, we want to show everyone out there that we can play football too.
Daryl, do you still have a question?
Yes, I was waiting for you to wave me on in.
All right, you're in.
Tyson. What in your skill set really translates to the pro game, and where do you see yourself fitting inside, outside, right, left, at cornerback in the National Football League?
Oh, well, I could do it all. So whatever team calls me, whatever team drafts me, they're going to get a player that's willing to do anything to help the team out, whether it be playing slot, outside corner, man zone, anything. I'm all for it. I just want to help the team.
And follow up, how have the Zoom meetings been going with the teams? I understand there've been a lot of teams going late into the evenings trying to get to know people because because of the circumstances with regards to COVID and so forth.
Zoom has been going well. I actually have a couple more in the next few weeks. So they've been going well. Starting to build a lot of good relationship with these teams, and it's very exciting and it's a blessing.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, up next, let's have Mark Weiser and then Adam Mack.
Hey, Tyson, what were you hoping? Excuse me. What were you hoping to get out of today? And do you feel like you performed at that level? And the first round, how important is that for you?
What I was trying to get out of today was just run a good time, put up good numbers and measurements. I think the main one was to show my DB skills, to get that out the air that I don't have ball skills. And I just want to show how smooth and fluid I am and quick I am at my breaks. And back to your question about being first round. I mean, I think anyone would say they would love to be a first rounder. And of course, I want to be a first rounder. But at the end of the day, I'm leaving it in God's hands, and hopefully, I get the call for a team, and they blessed to give me an opportunity.
All right, Adam, you're up.
Hey Tyson, how you doing? This is Adam Mack from All About the Birds.
What's up, Adam?
Some group that people forget they always have to win over are the fans. And a lot of things of what I'm seeing is that you are the fourth cornerback in this draft. What are your message to the team fans that draft you that may have won in one of those three other cornerbacks?
I mean, they're entitled to their own opinion. But I know where I am on that list, and I'm confident in my abilities and what I can bring to a team and what I can bring to a table. So I feel like, once I get there, they'll get to love me.
All right, and the last two questions for Tyson are going to be Mookie Hawkins and then Maddie Glab.
Tyson Campbell and Mookie Hawkins, 1-4 Sports 1080. How's it going?
Good. How you, man?
I'm good. How has going to Georgia prepared you for this moment, and has the Bills been in contact with you?
You said the Bills?
Yes, sir.
Coming to Georgia, I learned a lot as a player, and I feel like I've matured as a man. I think a lot of people don't realize that, when you come to college and you come to a program like this, you're surrounded by coaches that not only want you to succeed on the field, but off the field as well. And, Coach Smart and all the rest of the coaching staff always, put into our minds that we're more than athletes and we have a voice and we have a say and we are human beings. But as far as the contact with the Bills, I've talked to them.
Thank you for your time.
Hi, Tyson. My name's Maddie Glab. I work for the Buffalo Bills. Since you've been in contact with them, what do you know about Buffalo? What do you know about the Bills? Did you follow them at all this past season and the success that they had? Do you watch the NFL in general?
Yeah. The Bills are a great team. I watched them this year. They got a lot of corners that I watch. Tre'Davious White is somebody that I watch. And, I know they have a powerful and great offense. And they went to the AFC Championship this year. So I know they're an up-and-coming organization. And I watched them this year.
How do you think it would be to fit into a defense like that, playing for a defensive coordinator like Leslie Frazier and playing opposite of an all-pro corner in Tre'Davious White?
I think it would be a blessing, a great opportunity for me to learn from, a guy that, has done so well in this league for the past couple of years, and to be coached by, Leslie Frazier, who's well known in this league as one of the best defensive coordinators. So I feel like it will be a blessing. I would love the opportunity. But yeah, like you said, I'm just willing to get better and just grow as a player. So I'm willing to do anything.
Thanks, Tyson.
Thanks so much, Tyson.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Hey guys, just a couple of reminders again about follow-up questions. If you can, just try to keep it to one question for us. That would be great because we're trying to fit in as many guys as we can.
All right, guys, next up, we're going to have Eric Stokes.
You got it.
I got it. Got it.
that extra in.
All right, Catherine, we are ready to start when you are.
Ooh,
Hey, Eric, how are you?
I ain't been in one of these in a
Yeah, be
minute.
careful about that. All right, first up, we're going to start with Brandon Sudge and then Charles Odom.
Hey, Eric, I wanted to ask you about your 40, obviously, and your speed. I followed your journey ever since you came out of high school, and you've always been known for your speed. What type of emotions do you have when you see it kind of pay off now? When you see it pay off to an NFL opportunity when it all started as a track kid at Eastside High School?
Oh man, it's just amazing to where like people finally seeing like my speed for sure. To where like they finally acknowledging it, like just not pushing aside, doing all this stuff. Like now they actually see like I'm really that fast. So it's amazing.
Eric, DJ Daniels mentioned earlier something about the combine always being a dream for him. Was this any bit of a disappointment for you to do it this way, and how do you think it went? And also, did you seek out advice from players from last year's process about how the interview process would go?
Oh man, like nah, this still a dream come true. Like I mean, like of course, ending would have been perfect, And like just being able to like have that picture when you run in the actual 40 and they had the stuff in the background, like that was always a dream. But still, I'm still here on Pro Day. I still got scouts. I still got a chance to reach my dream. That's even amazing. I mean, like that's still even better. It's just still good. And then of course, like I hit up JR, especially like JR, my right hand man. So I'm hitting on JR throughout anything. So if I got a question, if I don't know anything, like I'm hitting on JR because I know for a fact like he could lead me the right way.
Okay, up next, let's have Brandon Carlisle and then Dan Wolkenstein.
Hey, Eric, how's it going, man?
Going good.
Good to hear. So I was going to ask you, you've got good size, you've got great speed, obviously. Does it matter what kind of scheme you're in at the next level? Do you think you're better suited for a zone heavy or a man scheme?
No, like pretty much, like it doesn't matter what scheme I'm gonna be in, because like again, this is only my 4th year playing true DB, so you can throw me in any type of scheme, and I'm going to pretty much try to adapt the best way I can. So like it might be a little rough edges from the start, but once I get it, I'm gonna be pretty much good to go.
Hey, Eric, Dan Wolkenstein from the Brawl Network. Hey, congrats on the blazing times. You've really been opening up some eyes. Question for the NFL, I guess more thinking about your skill sets. Is there a particular skill set that you think NFL teams will desire most? And then where do you see yourself stacking with the rest of the corners in this draft?
Pretty much with the second part, like I pretty much just believe like I'm one of the best. Where like if like I'm just trying to solidify that it's like I'm not that underrated. To where like I got some type of buzz with me. To where I need some type of respect. That's all I'm asking for. But it is what it is. You know, I'm used to being an underdog. I'm used to being all that like that stuff. So it ain't nothing new. And can you repeat the first part?
And the first part was just what's the skill set that you think NFL teams will want the most that you have?
Pretty much just my speed, my length. Like pretty much I'm athletic, so like it doesn't matter. Like everything else I'm gonna work on. I'm going to continue to grow as a player and as a person. So like this all that could be even better.
All right, up next, let's have Mike Griffith and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Eric, you just mentioned being underrated. You ran that laser time 4.24, 4.25. Did it seem like any interest picked up, and were you a little surprised there was still people after you ran that time that didn't have you in the first round?
There's no surprise there. You already know, like I'm always that underdog. I love that underdog role. So keep me as an underdog, keep doing all this stuff. You know, I'm totally fine with it because I know at the end of the day. Pretty much like how they say, the cream will rise to the top. So eventually, I'm gonna rise.
Did you ask yourself if you needed 3 or 4 pick sixes instead of 2 this season, or when you reflect back, what do you think they're seeing, or what do you think you got to improve at that next level?
I know for a fact that I got to improve my ball skill today. Like I mean, all the speed, all that little stuff is great, but me like dropping things that I know for a fact that I done did this constantly over and over again. That's the thing that's gonna eat me alive the most. Like I don't even care about all the good stuff I did today. All my love, like the vertical, the broad, the 4-point, whatever I ran today. Like I can't even think about that. I'm not even thinking about the speed. All I'm thinking about is things that I did not do well today, and that's what's gonna eat me alive.
Eric, you come from a team at Georgia that has a lot of speed on it, and you guys have always sort of, it seemed like, keep it to yourself as who's the fastest guy. You're proving to be the fastest guy between you and Tyson, and I guess Arian Smith is back at Georgia. I mean, can you confess now to knowing you were the fastest guy all along, or are you the fastest guy? Is Arian Smith even faster? I don't know.
I mean, I'll wait a title right now, but it's always been a give and take. Like who's feeling the best on this day and all that. But like as of now, I mean, I know for a fact that Tyson is like that with me. So day in and day out, like he's gonna be one of the best. He's gonna be one of the fastest. And Aaron I can't speak on that. But me, it's just crazy.
So you've never raced Arian? I guess you've covered him in practice.
Yeah, I never raced him or anything.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, and let's finish up with Jordan Reed.
Hey, Eric, Jordan Reed from the Draft Network.
The big thing that I wanted to know was that I asked Tyson the same question, was that at Georgia, it seems like you guys were taught to play the hands of receivers when you guys are exiting phase, and you guys rarely look back for the ball. So is that something that you guys were taught, essentially, to play the hands of the receiver as opposed to look back for the ball? Is that just something that you guys just do naturally?
Pretty much like what we do naturally is like you play through eyes and hands and all that stuff. So we're like mostly a man. We ain't like, I mean, everything we do is a man match. So pretty much you taught to go through eyes and hands, and after that, if you in great location or pretty much if you're in great phase, and then after that, you look for ball. But a lot of things can go wrong, a lot of things can go right. So it's just like pretty much the most comfortable thing was to play through eyes and hands.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Thanks so much, Eric, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to have Malik Caring. And Catherine, we are ready to go when you are. Perfect.
Hi, Malik. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay, first up, we're going to start with Mark Weiser and then Rafael Haynes.
Hey, Malik, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me kind of, your mindset, what you were hoping to accomplish today. I know that you've been injured, you had ACL surgery, and kind of, what that does to your draft process and, your hopes to get drafted.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. How will the injury, you think, affect, your draft stock, and what can you do to tell teams that, that they still might want to take a chance on you?
I just said the team's on me. Tell them how I'm doing rehab wise and how I'm feeling, and how far I'm out and how good I'm looking, stuff like that. And really can't dictate on where they get me. They just get whatever they give me, they get me. I'm just coming in ready to play, ready to do my job, know the playbook, meet all the new guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Malik, Raphael from the three-point conversion. During this process, you see a lot of media, the so-called experts talk about where you're going to be drafted, where you should go. At this time, is it hard to shut that off? Do you not pay attention, don't pay attention to it, or are you listening to it, saying what's going on?
No, I ain't listen to it. I never listen to outside noise. Because sometimes you see some jobs, they say somebody going this round, they probably don't even get drafted, they get hired when they get drafted. So it really don't even matter, not up to them. I feel like it's in God's hands and the GM hands. That's just how they feel about their players. So it's not really for me.
All right, up next, let's have Daryl Ledbetter and then Alex Fleming.
Yeah, Malik, how versatile do you think you are in different spots you could play in a 4-3 or a 3-4 front in the NFL?
I think I'm very versatile. I got a film with me playing zero nose, pass rush downs, all the way up to an outside shade 9 technique. So I feel like I'm very versatile. So I feel like I fit in any defensive scheme. They put me in the defense, let me know what I got to do. I'm going to do whatever I got to do for the team.
Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. You played against some of the top offensive linemen in the SEC. 2 questions. 1, what gap technique do you exploit the best against opposing offensive linemen? And B, do you line up better as a pass rusher, edge rusher, or do you like being lined up on the inside?
That's the first question. I like lining up in 5, 6 technique, 9 technique. Do I feel like I line up better pass rush inside of the edge? I kind of feel balanced with both. I get majority of my wins inside though, so to do it, whatever the team needs me at, I'm gonna get the job done.
Okay, up next, let's have Phil Carlisle.
Hey, Malik, it's Phil Carlisle from Overtime Fantasy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So with Georgia playing some of the best schools with great talent, How do you think that's helped prepare you for the NFL?
Just I know when I get to the NFL, I know everybody on that field is going to be good, going to be great, going to be top tier guys. So me just being around here is only going to make me comfortable with it when I get to the next level.
All right. And is there any particular person that you're looking forward to facing?
Oh, no, not really. Just one player.
All right. All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, up next, let's have Brandon Carlisle.
Hey, Brendan Carlisle here with Cheesehead TV. I was just wondering if there were any players at the next level you watched their film and trying to emulate.
Yeah, I like watching on Cam Jordan. His body frame, my body frame. Explosive off the edge, and he play inside. So I just like to look after him to see what he got going, see what he does, stuff like that.
Okay, up next, let's have Anthony Dasher.
Probably.
All right, and last question, let's go with Matthews or Nilas.
Good afternoon, Malik. Mateus from Brazil. For the NFL process, we always hear about that the players have to be on the field, and you have that consistently on Georgia. How do you think that was important and will be important during your draft process?
Just so that I can play 1 through 3 down. I can play all 3 downs. I think that just helped me out so how much I'm being on the field, and me being just all over the field helped me out too with my draft stock. I'm sorry.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much, Malik.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to have Richard LeCounte. All right, Catherine, ready when you are.
Perfect. Hey, Richard, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. First, we're going to start with Conor Riley and then Anthony Dasher.
Hey, Richard, where are you physically, I guess however many months removed now from that accident, and how have these last couple of months been for you?
I think I, got back pretty well. I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm, fast running. And on my drills, I felt good. Backpedaling, getting out of breaks, being able to go get the ball high pointed and adjust to the ball in the air.
Hey, Richard, sorry about that. They were talking on TV about your 40 times, maybe, I know in their opinion anyway, a little bit disappointing. How did you feel about that? And is that really a big deal for you right now?
I really didn't even see the official times yet, so I really don't know. But, it is what it is. That, good or bad, my play tape, shows what type of player I am, how I use my speed, how am I on the field, and the things like that, such as that. I'm not too really worried about that 40.
All right, up next, let's have Mark Weiser and then Mike Griffith.
Hey, Richard, good to see you. What were the biggest things, injury-wise, you had to overcome since your accident? And then how important was it to get on the field there, at Mercedes-Benz to end your career?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Probably my foot, rehabbing my foot, getting it back to, me trusting myself, trusting my weight on there, getting back into the tip-top shape that was before that the wreck. And just being in Mercedes-Benz Dome one last time was a blessing. That just shows the type of passion I have for this game, and I can't give up on my team because they never gave up on me. And for Coach Smart to give me that last play, man, that meant everything for me.
Hey, Richard, I wanted to ask you, I know these interviews with teams are pretty deep. Did all the teams, are they all asking, hey, what happened in the motorcycle accident? Was that something you've had to go over and over and over? And how was it having to tell that story?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. They asked about it, but, I told the truth, how it really happened. And, they heard me out and we moved forward from it.
All right, up next, let's have Jake Rowe and then Brandon Carlisle.
Hey, Richard. Obviously, when you go back to that, to the accident, and you come to and you're happy that everything's going to be okay. But how can you take us back to kind of how you felt about, you obviously love football. How did you feel about, knowing that you were going to be out for a while or maybe out for the rest of the season? And what did that do to you mentally, and how did you come back from it?
It was definitely tough, mentally on me, just knowing that, that I'm gonna miss some time, miss some games, my senior season. But every day I was rehabbing with Mr. Ron and the medical staff trying to get better. Mentally I had to fight my way through it. Everything that I learned here as far as overcoming things and what I need to do in this and going into the next step that really ensured that, I'm gonna be all right. I got to keep working, put my head down, and keep going forward.
Hey, Richard. Brandon Carlisle here with Cheesehead TV. I was wondering if you could talk about what teams you've spoken to during the pre-draft process and also, just comment on how you think you performed today.
I talked to a lot of the teams, man. I can't, just specifically name them, but I talked to a lot of teams, getting to know the coaches, GBs, coaches, the staff there. And I'm sorry, what was your next question?
Sorry, I was just asking how you think your performance was today.
I definitely could have, did better. There's always room for improvement. I think I, lit it up in the drills, did what I had to do there. Like I stated before, I haven't seen the times with the 40s yet, but I'm pretty sure, that I could have definitely ran faster or, some minor things that I can tweak to get that time down. But I'm not really worried about it. I'm worried about, getting on the squad and playing ball.
Okay, and for the last question, let's do Pranav Rama.
Richard, in the NFL, you probably watch a lot of tape of the players to model your game around. Who is your favorite among them?
Probably I have to say Ed Reed, probably Earl Thomas at the Seahawks, Buda Baker, just to name a few. Those guys has been, dominating their position for years, and just for the years to come. Also, I try to model myself as one of those players and transform my game and become a better DB.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Richard.
Time to shine. All right, next up, we're going to have Aziz Ojulari. Ready when you are, Catherine.
Okay, perfect. Hey, Aziz, how are you?
I'm good, you?
Good. All right, first we're going to start with Chip Towers and then Justin Felder.
Hey, Aziz, how are you?
I'm doing good. Are you?
Good, good. By all accounts, it looked like you had a great performance today. But what was your feedback? Is that the feedback that you got? And how much do you think these things matter as compared to what you have on tape from 2 years on the field?
Yes, sir. I believe it is really good, and it's going to help me because, everybody, they was questioning some things I could do. I just feel like I came out here and showed them.
What's up, Aziz? You're going to get asked a lot about the physical stuff out there today and how you did. What's it like getting to interact with these scouts and coaches, whoever's there? One of the only times you're going to get to do that this year. And give us an idea, what are those talks like? Are they asking football? Are they asking life? What do they talk to you about?
Yeah, it's great, man. It's a blessing, just to have that opportunity. And definitely they're talking football. They're talking your personal life and stuff, just trying to get to know you better and stuff like that.
Okay, up next, let's have Anthony Dasher and then Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Aziz, good to see you. On TV today, they're really commenting on your build, how you kind of add a little more mass to. I mean, how much have you gained? What have you done to kind of build yourself up?
Yeah, I was at Exos training in Pensacola, I just took the nutrition and everything seriously over there, and it just paid off for me. So I just came out here, you know, just did what I did. You know, I ain't really do nothing different. I just took everything serious when I was over there.
Hey, Aziz, Raphael from the three-point conversion. Coming from a tradition of great defenders, you know, defensive backs, linebackers, all of it in Georgia. What linebacker, is there any linebacker, whether it's from Georgia or anybody else that's in the NFL that you pattern your game after? And then also, what are you focusing on as far as trying to strengthen or get better at in your game?
I say Shaq Barrett, definitely. He's one of the guys I model. I just love the way he played and the way he could bend and get to the quarterback. Edge rusher, he can dip. Outside moves, he got it all. He's all-around player. So I like to model my game after him. And one thing I can improve, definitely, I'll say working more counter moves, you know, being more efficient with that. That's something I could definitely improve on.
Okay, up next, let's have Conor Riley and then Jake Rowe.
Hey, Aziz, you're pretty consistently mocked in that mid to late first round with a couple other pass rushers. What do you think really separates yourself from some of the other pass rushers in this class?
I just feel like my versatility and the way I use my hands and the way I could bend. I feel like I'm the most bendy and versatile. I got the explosive first step. And I can also drop in coverage too. So you're just not getting the pass rusher out of me. You're getting all three downs. I can play all three downs for sure.
Aziz, you don't really have to worry about what you say anymore because you don't have to talk to anybody after this is over. So I wanted to ask you about the rest of the outside linebackers and you know, obviously you and Jermaine are gone. There's going to be a lot of snaps to go around. What can you tell us about the rest of that group, Adam Anderson, Nolan Smith, and kind of their ability to meet the standard that you basically set this past year?
Oh yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a whole lot of sacks coming this fall for sure. They let Nolan and Adam, and don't sleep on Bill too. They let those boys get off the edge. It's going to be a dangerous fight after. There's going to be a whole lot of sacks coming this season. I promise you that. Adam's so fast. Bill strength, first step. Nolan quickness, strength. I'm telling you, man. They let those boys loose. It's going to be a crazy falling at this, man, for sure.
All right, up next, let's have Jennifer Lee Chan and then Dan Wolkenstein.
Aziz, are you familiar with the 49ers wide nine style of defense, and how do you think you would fit in with that scheme?
You said the 49ers?
Yeah, the wide nine scheme, and how would you fit in there?
Oh, okay. I feel like I fit good in any scheme really because here at Georgia we did both. We did 4-3, 3-4. We played all around outside linebacker, so we did a lot here at Georgia. So I feel like I'm prepared to play any position, any scheme.
And are you familiar with their coach, Chris Kaczmarek?
You said with the 49ers?
Yes. Are you familiar with their coach, the D-line coach, Chris Kaczmarek?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of Zooms with a bunch of teams, so we definitely have conversations and everything's been going good. So.
Hey, Aziz, Dan Wolkenstein from the Brawl Network. Your name has been flying up the boards, obviously, and you hear a lot of people talking about how there isn't that premier pass rusher in this year's draft like we've seen in years past, like with Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa or Chase Young. What do you say to teams or to folks that say that?
Yeah, I just feel like I got the quick first step. I'm explosive. I use my hands well. I use my hands like extremely good. If you beat the hands, you beat the man. I always go by that. And just I can bend. I just feel like I'm that guy. Definitely.
All right, thanks so much, Aziz.
Appreciate it. No problem.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you. All right.
All right, guys, we're going to take a brief break with the players, and we're actually going to have Coach Smart next, and then we'll resume again with players after that.
So, Georgia head coach Kirby Smart is coming on next. Thanks for watching the Zeni 62 Media Network. If you have any thoughts or questions, you can put them here. Just like I announced that Tyson Campbell was up and he was okay, and then go forward. Sorry I was away. I was just conducting some related matters. How many bobbleheads you got back there? Look at this, folks. Hey, folks, check this out. Check out those bobbleheads back there. My God.
All right, guys, thanks for waiting. We will have Coach Smart right now.
Okay, everyone, if you could raise your hand, I'll get to as many people as possible. Let's start with Brennan Rupp, followed by Brandon Sudge.
Hey, Coach Smart. I'm just wondering, what can Eric Stokes bring to an NFL secondary?
Well, speed, and more speed is the first thing he can bring. But he's a high character young man that's done so much in our program. You know, people talk about the value on the field, the plays he's made, and the speed he has. But for all those things he's great at, he's a lot better person than anything else. He's a guy that goes and works at the Boys and Girls Club. He reads to young kids across Athens, and he's a big brother to a sister that I know means a lot to him. So he's been a lot to our organization. He'll mean a lot to the next organization he goes to, both on and off the field.
Hey, Kirby, I know we talked about redshirt a lot over these past few months, but can you speak on what it was like for you guys as coaches to see him perform and healthy out there on a televised stage and things like that? Is that her name?
I was happy for all the guys. I mean, I know you're asking specifically about Richard, but it was great to see him get back out there, have fun. I think what you love about Richard so much is his personality. And I had several NFL guys come over to me and just say that they were able to see his personality come out, not only in the workout, but in the interviews they were able to do in front of everybody. Probably the biggest compliment I got all day was a couple guys, GMs, came over and just said, hey, look, this group did a tremendous job walking up in front of us. And Richard was one of those guys to get to go up and get in front of them and kind of answer questions in front of 70 to 80 of your peers. That's pretty intimidating. And I thought they did a great job.
Okay, let's go to Mark Weiser, followed by Pranav Rama.
Kirby, I know so much is made of 40 times. I guess GPS numbers or a metric that comes up now for these prospects. Is that data that is shared with teams from games or practices? And what kind of useful tool is that?
It's very useful for us. We don't typically share that information out. So unless they're squeezing it out from somebody leaking it, we don't give that information out. We tend to share information that only helps our players. And in some cases it would help. In some cases they may be consecutive practices in a row, so we don't share all that out. But it certainly helps us because it tells us when we need to pick up and when we need to cut back volume-wise.
Okay,
Coach, Coach, Ben Cleveland is one of the most intriguing offensive line prospects. What are NFL teams getting in a guy like that?
Big Ben. They're getting the man, the myth, the legend himself. Ben Cleveland is, first of all, a great person, just like the rest of these guys. But he's a kid that I've known since ninth grade. The legend of Big Ben has been up in Toccoa, Georgia. He's got a tremendous family. He's played a lot of football here. He's practiced a lot of football here. He's been around here a long time. And, anybody that's able to pick Ben is going to get a guy in that league. It's just hard to find size. There's certain criteria for size that he meets all that criteria. And it's hard to move, get around. It's a passing league. So when he pass pros, he's a hard man to get past and does a great job of that. So I'm excited to see what he does.
Okay, let's go to Phil Carlisle, followed by Anthony Dasher.
Hey, Coach. Phil Carlisle here from Overtime Fantasy. How are you doing?
Doing great, Phil.
So is there a player on your current roster that has kind of jumped into that leadership role with losing so many players going to the NFL draft this year?
Yeah, we've got several guys that are returning that I think are tremendous leaders. Zamir jumps off the way he sets the tone and the way he works. He and James Cook both kind of set an example. Jamari and Schaefer, Warren Erickson do a tremendous job on the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, Nakobe is out there leading every day. He does a tremendous job with the defensive guys holding them accountable. Trevon Walker has done that. Jordan and Devontae coming back helped tremendously. Then the secondary, Chris and Lewis have played a lot of football, especially with Richard's injury. So those guys are helping lead in the back end.
Hey, Kirby, I know you're always proud of the guys that come out here and work out on Pro Day, but being this was, I believe, was the first group that you and your staff actually recruited. Does that make it a little bit more special for you this year?
Yeah, it was great. I got to talk to those guys as a group, and I think every guy working out, we recruited with the exception of maybe Kendall Baker, who was out working out after some injuries he's had. And that group is special to me because they've all come at different times, but they're leaving together, and they're all ours. Proud of them. They've worked really hard for today and also to get closer to graduate. Some of them have graduated. I mean, to find a guy like Trey Hill, that's so rare to graduate within 3 years and have the ability to come out early. So I'm excited for all those guys. I know it's a big day for them, and it's always one of the biggest days of your life. And looking back on it, we want to make sure we gave them everything they needed to be prepared for today.
Okay, let's go to Catherine Lewis, followed by Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Coach. So this pro day was obviously carrying extra importance to the players because of the cancellation of the combine, but how was it extra special for you this year as it was one of the first groups that you were able to see through their entirety at UGA?
Yeah, it just meant a lot. Meant a lot for me to see the kids. A lot of those guys were part of our first class. Some were second class, but each one is special to our staff. They've been great to Georgia. And I told them, I said, look, I don't know when your career is going to end. For some of you, it's just beginning today. And some of you, it'll carry on for a long time, and some of you, it won't. But the most important thing I want them to know is that they're not just football players. They're great people. They're great leaders. And we want to help them so that they can be successful the rest of their life without football.
Hey, Coach, Raphael from the three-point conversion kind of touched on it just a little bit, but I wanted to ask that, through 2016, you've had some great players, great defenders. When you send them out after Pro Day and they're going to the NFL, wherever they're going, what do you instill in these players while they're in Georgia, like to make them become so great and so, even at the next level, they've been so successful? What do you instill in them, or what do you tell them? What's the message?
The core values for us are to come here, graduate, be part of something bigger than yourself. And it's not all about you, and it's not really all about the NFL. We may inherit a young man that all his ambitions are is to go to the NFL. We hope by the time he leaves, he understands the importance of a career outside of football, and he understands how to develop as a football player. We always say you're trying to develop 3 careers while you're here, and football is just one of those. And we want them to be better men by choosing Georgia. And I pride myself on the whole person more than just the whole player. And we failed these young men if we don't do more than just coach them football. And that's big for me. And today is about the measurements in the football, but the mental side is so important to these NFL teams now. And so many of them come and talk about our guys' ability to communicate. And we try to force that on them when they get here, so when they leave, they're prepared.
Okay, let's go to Adam Mack, followed by Chip Towers.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Great.
What did you see that made you want to switch Mark Webb from wide receiver to cornerback? And do you think he has the capability to make the switch again and play wide receiver in the NFL?
Mark was a kid that came in from Philly and was really just a versatile player. The first thing he has is toughness. He's got really good ball skills. We had a very crowded wide receiver room when he got here. We were very thin at defensive back when he got here. So there was opportunity more than anything. And he embraced the idea. We had Riley, we had Miko, we had Javon, we had a lot of guys when he got here. And we thought he was one of our better athletes. And we knew he would be a good matchup guy because of his size and his physicality. And he proved to do that. He grew as a player. He got better as a player and has developed a lot. As far as switching back or going back, that's not something for me to debate, really, because I didn't get to see him develop as a receiver. We developed him as a defensive back.
Yeah, Kirby, you guys had a dozen or so guys working out here today. Your teams have been well represented in the draft every year. How much is that a competitive part of what you're doing? I mean, like, you're a football coach, you're trying to turn them into professional football players. How much is that part of what you're trying to achieve here?
Well, it's not the most important thing, Chip. Obviously, I think I hit on the most important thing to me is that we develop them as men of character, get a great education, graduate. But I'm also cognizant of their ambitions. And their ambitions most times are to have an opportunity at the NFL. And each one of them will probably be approached to be drafted differently. Each one of them has a different long-term career path. I don't know what each one of those is going to be. I just want them to feel good that I had a good experience in Georgia and that the Coach Smart staff at the University of Georgia has been there for me and has promoted me to give me this opportunity to go do what I want to do. I want to be there for these guys long beyond today when they get through playing.
Okay, let's go to Alex Fleming, followed by Mike Griffith.
Coach Smart, this is nothing new to you. Oh, sorry, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. Coach Smart, this is nothing new to you. From your days in Alabama, now being the head coach of Georgia, you've seen a lot of premier NFL talent come from the college ranks. If you had parting words to give to Stokes or Ben or Webb, what would you tell them about the next level?
Be prepared for adversity, that nothing comes easy. And they'll tell you they took the big step to come here, and one of the largest steps you take is from high school to the SEC level. The next highest step is going to be SEC to the NFL, competitive nature of things. You're going into a less than 1% group of athletes, so everybody's talented. How do you take care of your body? Because what you got away with in college, you may not be able to get away with in the pros because it's going to be at the highest level. But tell them to enjoy it and have fun. It's not going to last forever. We've seen that. A 6-7 year career in the NFL is extremely successful. So be preparing for your next career while you're there.
Kirby, a few guys I want to ask you about, they each kind of got a unique story, and if you can give me the Crib Notes version. Stokes was the lowest rated guy in 2017. You developed him. Richard coming back from an injury, and Monty playing through an injury all year. Could you touch on those three guys?
Yeah, Stokes is a really interesting story. Just not many people know the whole story and backdrop. Coach Tucker, Mel, and I we had a lot of conversations about Stokes throughout the year. I can't tell you that season how many times I went back and watched him in camp from when he was here. His high school highlight tapes where he would take a ball at running back and just outrun everybody. And we just thought there's this raw, talented guy right down the road. We weren't looking at ratings like I know a lot of you guys do. No knock. We don't really care about the ratings. We just evaluate the tape. And we let the tape speak for itself. And the tape said, here's a really long person. It's really fast, and he's a good kid, and he's less than an hour away from us. He also had won the 100 meters. So there's some verified speed there. And he came in. Most kids don't believe in redshirting, don't want a red shirt. He developed. Mel was very patient with him. Mel taught him very well. I give Mel a lot of credit for teaching Eric Stokes. He's called Dirty Red. He was a hard-nosed, getting better player, and he had a long way to go. But by his redshirt freshman year, he came on and had to come in the game. He was against Auburn and played really well. Played good against Missouri at times and just grew. He kept getting better. So I'm proud of what Stokes was able to do. He was always fast. That wasn't the question mark. But what he did is he improved a lot of areas where he wasn't great and became a much better player. As far as Monty, he's a kid that went and committed to LSU, I think on TV or whatever his announcement, called us 15 minutes afterwards and said, Coach, I made a mistake. I want to be at Georgia. I want to be there. I want to be a Bulldog. It meant a lot to us to be able to get him, and he pushed through injuries this year. Never had a kid that practiced as hard as Monty does, and it hurt him that he couldn't practice this year every day and try to help the team. But he tried to go out and play on Saturdays. And then Richard's story is very special, as you noted, because there was a time where we weren't sure that he was going to be able to come back, play. I mean, there was a few minutes there where I didn't know what had happened, and it was a scary moment, and it makes you realize there's a lot more to life than football.
Okay, I got time for 2 more questions. Let's go to Jennifer Lee Chan, followed by Daryl Ledbetter.
Coach, Aziz has made a huge jump in his final season there. Where do you see his ceiling, and what does he bring to an NFL team?
High character, toughness. I think when you start trying to build a defense, whether you're in the NFL, college, or high school, it starts with what kind of toughness do you have, okay? When you rank tough players, Aziz Ojulari is really high. He strikes, he has contact, he's never shied away. He doesn't complain when you go full pads. He wants every part of it. He's a high character player off the field. He's going to be an asset in the locker room. He makes your whole team better, but he's also talented. So I'm excited to see where he goes. Somebody's going to get a great young man in Aziz.
Yeah, Coach D. Orlando Ledbetter from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Just can you discuss Aziz and what teams are asking you about him? And then also with Coach Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot being up there today, I'm glad to see that relationship continue to work with the Falcons into their new regime.
Absolutely. As far as Aziz, I mean, I'm every team that I talk to today, it's probably the first question I get is, what do you think Aziz is? Is he a Sam? Is he a DPR? What can he do outside rushing the passer? Is he going to be able to play in space? There's a lot of questions there that they want to know because they're talking about investing a lot of money in those high draft picks. So they want to get a lot of information on those guys. And as far as Arthur and Terry, they've been great. They've reached out, got a relationship with both those guys now, and they've been awesome to UGA in terms of reaching out and communicating, just like the last staff was.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. We will have more players following shortly.
Thank you very much.
Well, folks, that was Kirby Smart and saying all the right things about his players and giving us a hint that of all the players, Aziz is the one that is most coveted. If you ever seen Aziz play, ooh, doggy. Watching Aziz play is a treat. He is a one football player, defensive wrecking crew. The team that is fortunate enough.
All right, next up, we're going to have Ben Cleveland.
Well, here's Ben Cleveland.
Hey, Ben, how are you?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. All right, first up, we're going to start with Justin Felder and then Conor Riley.
Hey, Ben, first of all, I just want to ask you about how today went, and did you feel extra pressure today? I know you've had some other opportunities to perform in front of NFL scouts, but so much more limited this year. So did you feel extra pressure on Pro Day that this is one of very few chances you'll get in person?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like today went really well. There was a different type of pressure on us today. I don't think it was anything like, we've really ever experienced, playing on Saturdays or anything like that. It was a different type of pressure. I mean, there was definitely a different feel out there on the field. But, I mean, it was something that we were all prepared for. So, I mean, I think we did very well performing in it.
Hey, Ben, you've been a part of this Georgia offensive line for a long time now. With you moving on, who are some of the guys that next year you think can really step up and replace your massive shoes there in the offensive line room?
We developed a lot of depth this year just with everything going on with COVID and things like that. So we had a lot of guys that could play a lot of different spots. So, I think that's going to help them out drastically this year, and I expect, Jamari and Justin Schaefer and
some guys that have been here for a while to step up and, take over that leadership role, just like they've done in the last couple of years. So, I mean, I don't think they're going to skip a beat or miss a step with that. I think those guys are going to handle it just fine.
Okay, up next, let's have Brandon Sudge and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Ben, I want to ask you about the 40. So, number one, why did you choose to do it without a shirt on? And number two, does a squirrel diet help your speed?
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I took my shirt off. Just why not? But, squirrel diet definitely probably helped cut a little bit of weight this off season. So, yeah, I mean, we put a really good time on that. So, I mean, I got no complaints with
that. Yeah, Ben, I was going to ask you specifically, had you looked trimmer, can you validate that? I mean, in terms of how much weight you might have lost. And I did want to ask you directly about the bench press. Obviously, 49 is a huge number, but I'm assuming you would have never declared it as you hadn't been flirting with that number before. So can you just explain kind of, what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, there was that video that was posted about Javon Williams saying they stopped me at 50, and, that was never the case. That never even happened, was never even close to that. But, I mean, kind of had to go with it and, at least hype it up. But, I felt good on my performance today. I kind of got a little off rhythm going into it. So, I mean, it hurt me a little bit. But, I mean, nothing to hold my head or shake my head about. I mean, that was kind of where I was expecting to get. But, I couldn't just sit there and, obviously downplay that. But, I was a little disappointed in myself. But, I mean, I still put up pretty good numbers. So, I mean, nothing we can do to change that now except, keep working in the weight room, getting stronger. So, it is what it is.
Okay, up next, let's have Anthony Dasher and then Raphael Haynes.
Hey, Ben, Coach Mark was asking about you just a little bit ago, and he was talking about the legend of Ben Cleveland whenever he was recruiting you and all that, and everybody's heard all the strength stories. I think you lifted up a Toyota truck one time in high school. And what's it been like, though, living in your shoes? Have you always been that biggest guy? People always watch you when you walk down the street. I mean, has that always been easy for you to do? And just how's that been for you?
It's just like today. I mean, everybody had all these high expectations for the bench press. And, obviously I didn't hit that goal. But, the same ones talking about it are the same ones that have never been in a weight room. So, it's tough. But looking at it, I can only do what I can do. And, I mean, that's all that I can ask out of myself, to show up and perform at my best every day. So, I mean, it is what it is. And, I mean, I know I've said that before, but, it's tough sometimes, having those high expectations and, but, in the end, I didn't let myself or my family down. So, I'm fine with what I did.
Hey, Ben, Raphael from the three-point conversion. And have you had a chance, whether it was today, before, or after, or during, or just period, just to think about everything that's just happened and what's going on right now, that, you completed your years at Georgia and you're moving to the next step, and you're going to the NFL? Like, has it hit you yet?
Yeah, I think it definitely has. I mean, life is definitely moving a lot faster than I ever thought it was going to. You always hear time flies whenever you're growing up. Whenever you're a kid, you don't really think about it. But, the older I've gotten, the more I've realized, I mean, heck, we're already almost through March into April right now. And, I mean, it feels like Christmas was just 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, it's definitely life happens fast. I mean, that's what it is, and that's how everything is going to be. So, I mean, just take it one day, one step at a time, and kind of, take things in stride and go where they go.
All right. Thanks so much, Ben, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
So that was the legend, Big Ben Cleveland, who doesn't even look like he's 6'6", 350, doesn't he? He looks like he's chiseled himself for Pro Day. His favorite hobby, by the way, is fishing and hunting. He got in a little trouble. It was last year when he said that protesters he said, make protesters speed bumps again. Protesting. He was remarking on Instagram about protesters who would block the freeway. It was an ill-advised post on Instagram. I think he learned his lesson. At least I hope so.
All right, y'all, sorry about that. Next up, we're going to have Trey Hill. All right, Tim, we are ready when you are.
Hey, Trey. All right, first we're going to start with Palmer Toms and then Anthony Dasher. Hey, Palmer, you're on mute if you don't mind unmuting yourself.
Hey, Trey. Wanted to talk about the injuries you've had to overcome and battling back for this NFL preparation. What's that been like for you?
It's been great, man. Being down in Tampa, trained at Yo Murphy in Tampa, it's been great, just to come back down here for pro day and, be 100% for everything. So.
Hey, Trey, good to see you. I know the end of your season last year was kind of cut back a little two procedures you had on your knee, but obviously you're healthy now. Just real quick on that, just how much of a setback, if any, was that, but also the fact you already got your degree. It took you just 3 years to do it. How big a deal is that for you and your family?
Big deal for me, to get my degree. My mom wanted me to get my degree in 3, so, I had my head down, and just stayed working each and every day in the classroom. And that was a big deal to me, my parents, and, I did it for them. So.
All right, up next, let's have Nick Farbaugh and then Rafael Haynes.
Hey, Trey, 2 questions here. First, have you had any communication with the Pittsburgh Steelers? And second, you kind of have this brawler style of play on the interior there at center. Do you kind of watch guys? What guys do you watch really to model your game after?
I watch several guys, but, I'm me. I'm Trey. And I don't think nobody can take that away from me. I watch people like the Pouncey twins. Obviously, one did play for the Steelers, and I have talked to them a lot. So.
Hey, Trey, Raphael from the 3-point conversion. 2-part question. First, what are you focusing on to get better at moving forward? And then what is your inspiration? Like, was it a family member, anyone or anything that's been an inspiration throughout this whole process?
Repeat the first question again.
What are some of the attributes or some things that you want to improve on?
Okay, improve on just the whole aspect of the game, film room, little steps, getting to know what D lineman lined up at, the hand placement, movement, just the little things that'll get you over the top and get you over the edge in this football world. And who I do it for my parents, my family. I mean, they deserve all the praise for this. They're the ones that helped me get to this point, and I want to do it for them. So that's my why.
All right, up next, let's have Matthews Ornelas and then Chip Towers.
Good afternoon, Trey. Matheus from Brazil. For a lot of offensive linemen, when they go to the NFL, especially the center position, they have to usually have 1 year playing at the guard or like sitting on the bench a little bit for develop the game for the speed of the NFL. This is a problem for you, like playing the guard, like the first year, or sitting on the bench maybe for the first season for be more ready for the NFL level?
No, I think I'm good. Like me playing guard or center, I think I'll come in as a day one, ready to go type guy. I mean, I'm the guy that you can call on, you can go to, and I'm gonna know everything what's going on the field. Just from me playing center to me playing guard, it helped me develop in many different type of ways, from calling the fronts or, giving everybody to play the information to do their job. So I feel like I did a great job doing those things. So in the league, it won't be no different.
Thank you a lot. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Trey. Yeah, specifically on the knee, I'm sure you've been asked a ton by the NFL guys about it, but did you have both knees worked on after the season? And, exactly how much rehab and everything was involved after that to where you are now? Can you proclaim yourself 100%?
Oh, yes, so there was a lot of rehab went into it. I did tear both of them, lateral tears, and got both of them scoped in the same day. But rehab, that was a big part of my process and, me getting back on my feet to 100%. So once I got that done, everything else took care of itself.
All right. Thanks so much, Trey.
You're welcome. Appreciate y'all.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That was Trey Hill, center for your Georgia Bulldogs. Center. Welcome to Zeni62, by the way. Zeni62 on YouTube and the networks of Zeni62 Media and Oakland News Now blog. What do we have next? We are waiting. As they desanitize the area, as they do for after every speaker.
All right. Next up, we will have Trey McKinney.
Hey, Trey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Okay, first up, we're going to start with Matthews Ornelius and then Nick Farbaugh.
Thanks, Catherine. The pronounce was perfect. You asked me for the first time.
Great.
Trey, first of all, congratulations for the Pro Day and going for the NFL draft. We talk a lot about Senior Bowl and things the players have to be better, like for being the NFL level. What do you think that's your major skill that you need to develop for be a player that teams may watch, or they're not watching yet, they will watch you if you be better in one or two skills?
I think every aspect of my game I can improve on. I don't think I'm nowhere near my ceiling as a football player. So really just in every aspect. To be specific, sometimes I tend to get, a little bit choppy on top of my routes when I clean it up and, be more consistent with my hands and feet in the blocking game.
Hey, Trey, you care about Pittsburgh sports now. For two questions here. One, have you met with the Steelers at all? And two, you really showed out at the Senior Bowl, a lot of one-handed catches, a lot of really good routes there. How do you think that showcase down there in Mobile really helped you and helped scouts even see your game beyond the tape?
Yes, I have spoken to the Steelers, and I think the Senior Bowl was great. Great for me, really helped me. Not having the production that I wanted to this year at Georgia, so being able to go to the Senior Bowl and kind of show what I have, I think it really helped me moving forward.
Okay, up next, let's have Anthony Dasher and then Rafael Haynes.
Hey, Trey, this is kind of a Georgia question right here, but I just want to get your take on Darnell Washington. The steps you expect he's going to be able to take from year one to year two, and how much trouble is he going to be for opposing defenses next fall?
Hey, he's going to be a problem. I said this a lot, even to talking to teams this offseason, guys that come in as a 5-star, really think they know it all and have a big head, but he really came in willing to learn. He come to me asking questions all the time, and I think that was huge. Me being an older guy, so I was able to help him. I think he'd be a great player in the future.
Hey, Trey, Raphael from the three-point conversion. Trey, you talked about the Senior Bowl and the catches and how you feel like it improved your draft position and everything. But going into the NFL, knowing that it's a passing league and the tight ends are used in the passing game more than ever now, are you excited to showcase that now? And you feel like because you're going into that, you'll be able to show everyone the type of skill set that you do have?
Right, 100%. Definitely want to do that, be able to show my skill set. But I also want to be able to show my skill set on both sides of the ball. Yes, the league's a passing league now, but, still need guys that can block as well. So I feel like I can do both. You make me a 3-down tight end. I'm really trying to do.
All right, up next, let's have Andrew Freeman.
Hey Trey, Andrew Freeman from the Bear Report. Appreciate your time today. So first thing, have you had any interaction with Chicago Bears in the pre-draft process? And then at the Senior Bowl, you measured in with 11-inch hands, and we saw some highlight reel catches from you, one-handed catches down there at the Senior Bowl. So how do you think that helps you from a receiving aspect, and then from a blocking aspect too with that hand size?
I spoke with the Bears at the Senior Bowl. And also, I mean, I think, just having big hands kind of helps me in every aspect of my game. Being able to grab somebody or grab the ball at the air, definitely think I was blessed with some good hands. So just use them to the best of my advantage.
All right, thanks.
All right, up next, let's have Zeni Abraham and then Jennifer Lee Chan.
Trey, how are you? Zeni Abraham, Zeni 62 Media. What's your favorite pattern to run? Thank you.
I don't know. There's quite a few, so many. I kind of need like a down and distance of. Could you give me that?
Sure. 3rd down and 8, opponent's 40-yard line.
I like an option route. Be able to go in or out at 10 yards, depending on the defensive leverage. So an option route.
Yeah. Thank you.
I cover the 49ers for NBC Sports. George Kittle is obviously one of the most prolific tight ends out there right now. How would you compare yourself to him in your game, and have you talked to the 49ers at all?
Talked to the 49ers at the Senior Bowl. And, I mean, I watch a lot of guys in the league all the time. Try to, pick things from every guy's game. Definitely watch George Kittle a lot. And not like really like trying to compare myself, just trying to take things that he does well, like in a blocking game or running routes, just kind of take what he does and try to implement it in my game. So really just that.
He prides himself in being one of the best run blockers out there. He actually enjoys that that part of the game more. Would you say that you're similar in that aspect?
I think I'm both ways. I'm slap in the middle. I don't really have a preference. That's why I enjoy being inside in, the best of both worlds, being able to go on routes against DBs and backers and, be in the trench with the linemen and put up a fight. So I like both parts of the game.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Trey.
No problem.
Actually, hold on one second. We have one more. Trey, can you come back?
Right.
I think Chip Towers wanted to ask one more question. Is that right, Chip?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, one more. Sorry.
Just raised my hand there, Trey. Sorry. No, I just wanted to ask you, about the graduate transfer experience. Did you feel like you got, kind of everything out of that, leaving Florida State and coming to Georgia? And did you trade any notes with Jermaine Johnson on your way out?
It was tough into the portal. I didn't think I was going to be a transfer guy. I had a great time at Florida State. But coming here was awesome. Definitely think I grew as a person and a player. And as far as Jermaine, me and him kind of spoke about it a little bit. I'm happy for him, hope he does well this year. And, but yeah, I don't really know if I answered your question. Yeah,
Chip, did that answer your question?
I just wondered if you felt like it kind of helped your situation. Obviously, the goal was to further your education and put yourself in position to be drafted, right?
I think for sure. I think emphasis this year for me was I always had a knock at Florida State for my blocking, and I think I wanted to come to the SEC and prove that I can block, hold my own in the SEC. I think I did that this year, so I definitely think it did help me.
All right. Thanks so much, Trey. You're actually done now.
Okay, appreciate it. You have a good one.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. I think we're going to be taking a quick break, but we'll be started back with another player in just a second.
Trey McKitty. Excuse me. Make sure that I'm. Yeah. I took particular interest in Trey McKitty because there are a number of speedy tight ends in the draft coming out and tight ends that are along the lines of Darren Waller. So it's more appropriate, I think, today to find out, from a passing perspective, what they're thinking about. And it's quite clear that Trey is well coached and is running in a NFL style offense where he has a feel for what pattern he should run given a particular situation, which I gave him by his own request, right? So that's when you know someone is ready. And I think the NFL offenses that will be most effective this year are going to be the ones that have not one, but two tight ends that are effective. I mean, look at Cameron Brate and Ron Gronkowski with the Buccaneers, right? Or consider the New England Patriots when they had the late Aaron Hernandez and Ron Gronkowski, okay? Big tight ends who cannot just block, but run, and I mean run fast and catch the ball deep downfield. Guys like that are weapons. You heard Jennifer talk about George Kittle of the Niners. The guys like that are just plain weapons today. And among NFL squads where it seems like big, fast receivers are getting bigger and faster, it's because they're also tight ends. And when they're not tight ends, if you notice, there's also a little creeping trend toward using offensive linemen as tight ends or fullbacks. So the league is getting bigger and faster, particularly at the tight end position and particularly at the receiver position, interior. Exterior, of course, it's slot guys, who can run like super fast. If you have a question or a comment, you can type it in and I'll show it like that if it's appropriate. Otherwise, it will not be seen. Or if it's even worse, well, I think you'll have an idea what will happen. But we're all mature adults, right? So. By the way, in case you're wondering, folks, UGA Georgia Football Pro Day press conference is also up at oaklandnewsnow.com. Let me give you a little show of what it looks like. And then we'll get back to the main doings here, okay? Great. Hold on a second, folks. I was trying to get this screen to come up here. There it is. And one moment, please. I'll have that for you momentarily, so you can have a look. All right, here it is. And folks, here it is for your, so as I scroll down here, there it is. See the You recognize the logo, of course. And then all you have to do is go here at Oakland News Now and then push the button, and then voila, there it is. See, there it is. So Oakland News Now, folks, has the Georgia Pro Day, and now we're going to go back to the main screen, stop that screen, and then we'll call back the Zoom meeting. And there we are. And then we're waiting. Asking if LeCounte shuttle participated in the shuttle, and the answer is don't. I'm reaching out to get the answer for you because I'm remote. So one moment, please. Let me find out another way for you. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Brian. Let me find out another way for you. I'm going to reach out to Georgia Press. I put the question in momentarily, so once I get an answer back one way or the other, I'll let you know. I'm asking the Georgia University of Georgia Football Athletic Department Media Relations. Thanks. They're finding out for me, so hold on a second, Brian, okay? Oh, anytime, Brian. You got it. I'm still waiting. Official answer, they don't know. And that's from Ms. Harris at Georgia Media Relations. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think there's some... that's very official, Brian. Yeah, that comes from the person that you're looking at on screen. You're welcome. They don't know. And I think, in fairness to her, there are teams that work out, they have their own individual workouts, and absent knowing where they're going to be lined up at the stadium, you know, I could check Instagram or anything else to see what photos are out there, right? But I did check Twitter, and I didn't see any mention of LeCounte specifically participating in the shuttle, right? So, question, but that also begs a question. Let me see something here, because now I was curious. Let's see here. There isn't any mention of LeCounte at all among the tweets. The most recent one is January 2nd. One moment, please. Let me try something. There might be, I'm just going to check and see if there's a spelling, malady here, right? Where somebody maybe didn't spell the name properly. Hold on a second. Well, okay, yeah. Spell correctly with the E. You've got Rick Saratella posted his unofficial 40 time. Safety Richard LeCounte had a 4.8340. All right, so here's that. Okay, there it is. Oh, hey, Brian, you have to use an E. LeCounte with an E. See that? If you leave the E off, you won't get, it's like programming, right? If you miss a period or you screw up, right? It's a computer, garbage in, garbage out. So if you leave out the E, you're not going to get what you're looking for. You put the E on, you get it. So there, so let's keep looking there, right? And then, let's see here. Let me try something else. There's no results for him under that spelling doing a shuttle. Nothing. under LeCounte period, there's that information I gave you about his 40 time. And just constant repetition regarding his official measurements. Okay, I've got that, which I'm going to post right here. Okay, I've got the official measurements you can see on Twitter, but for him specifically, I'll give it to you. All right, that is. Let's see how we're gonna do that one. That's going to be give you the height first. Okay, that's the height. All right. Then you've got weight. Excuse me. Got weight. Trying to zero out these All right, that's his weight. Okay. Got hand. Okay. You've got Richard LeCounte. That's his. Here comes his arm measurements and wing. All right, which I'm going to put side by side. I'm trying to reformat this like that. So, all right, I'll put that up there. I'll put that there like that. Okay. So there's, look, that's what I could come up with. All right. So. He's being blasted for his 40 time. His 40 time is, have a safety that runs that kind of 40. It's like, dude, what'd you eat this morning for breakfast? Oh, my Lord. Pizza? It was a long wait, folks. Wow. Hey, if you're watching this stream, folks, I would say at this point, what you should do, if you're watching this, is I would not when this video is done and you're watching it at this point, we have a long delay. So I would fast forward to the point where a player is on. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting for a while. This is a delay. All right, on the part of the University of Georgia. I guess we're waiting for players to come. So just letting you know that, so that when you're watching this standalone video, right now it's a live stream, you'll know that. Right now you can't fast forward because there's nothing to fast forward to, right? But I'm just letting you know. All right.
All right, Catherine, we have Monty, and we will begin when you are.
Yo.
Hey, Monty. Hi, Monty. How are you?
What's up?
Alrighty, guys. If you have a question for Monty, please raise your hand on this Zoom. All right, first we're going to start with Chip Towers.
Hello, Monty. Good to see you.
What's up, Chip?
What's going on? You look like today you felt really well. Like, can you tell us how much you recovered, how much you needed to recover, and how you felt like you did today?
First off, I said it was showtime before, but I felt like I did good though. Due to the people at Exos, they took real good care of me from January, to March, as far as treatment, and they made sure I was good. So big, shout out to them for helping me get to this moment and helping me perform well.
All right, up next, let's have Rafael Haynes and then Jake Rowe.
Hey, Monty. First off, man, just congrats on your career at Georgia. It's Raphael from the three-point conversion, and see you hyped, see you very upbeat today. Waking up today, knowing you had this pro day, knowing that you didn't have that extra, I guess, day to show the scouts and everybody what you have and what you can do, since they canceled the NFL Combine. Did you have any anxiety or any added pressure before you started today?
Anxiety, no. Pressure, no. Was I not anxious because the same thing, anxiety, but I had a little bit of nervousness. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you because that'd be a lie. But so I was a little nervous. Hard to sleep last night because I was ready to go.
Monty, you hear a lot of guys talk.
Monty?
Yeah, that's what I said, Monty.
Monty, you said Monty.
Dude, I'm a redneck. I talk with kind of different, so you can't. That's dialect. Monty, I wanted to ask you. There are a lot of different guys who, you hear the same thing over and over. Dream come true. I'm glad to have the opportunity, all that stuff. But you've played football for heck, I don't know how long, probably the last 10 years of your life, and you probably want to do it for another 10 years. How excited are you to have the opportunity to make a living, to make a really good living at, doing something you clearly love?
It's lit, man. Like, we've been working for this since we were little kids. I know I have since I was 9. And I've been saying since I was 9 I was going to play on Sundays. Just going to wait and see what team picks me and gives me that opportunity.
All right, up next, let's have Conor Riley and then Matthews or Nias.
Hey, Monty, I wanted to ask you about one of your teammates, Nakobe Dean. What about him sort of really impresses you?
Brain, smarts. He's very, 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 very smart kid. You can tell he was brought up well by his parents, and he has good genes as far as all that. And, he's blessed to be that smart because there's a lot of people, you can't really control if you're smart or not. And he just got it, He got the whole package. He can play football. He can do school well. And, he's going to be successful. Just as long as he keeps doing what he's been doing, he's going to be super successful. No question.
Monty, Mateus from Brazil. First of all, congratulations for the pro day. We heard a lot of players talking about like the talk they have for the scouting reports and the teams. How was this process for you? Was it an easy process? You had to answer the same question a lot of times. How is that for the players? Like, you're so used to like being on the field and training, and then you have to be for all this process of interviews and talking with coaches and searching about the NFL and how you have to be better for the next level.
Man, it's just like high school recruiting, honestly, taking a bunch of phone calls, talking to a bunch of new people, them asking you your story, how you was growing up. So it was like, just nice at a high level.
Thank you a lot. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, up next, let's have Palmer Toms.
Yeah, Monty, was there any disappointment in not being able to go to Indy for the combine, or was it you just ready to go wherever they wanted you to work out?
So obviously, I've been watching the combine since I really started paying attention to it my first year at Georgia. But yeah, of course I wanted to go to the combine. You know, who doesn't? You know, you play football and you make it this far. It's like a lifelong dream. So, but it is what it is. I can't control it. So, you know, I got my opportunity today.
All right. Thanks so much, Monty, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Monty also. Monty.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We are going to have a recording sent out to you guys. And also, Steve Colquitt wanted me to remind all of you that we are going to have pictures on Smug Mug that are now available. And if you have any issues with him, or with those photos, please feel free to reach out. But thanks again, guys. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Of course.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Catherine.
Hey, thank you very much. Much appreciated. So, folks, that's Georgia Pro Day. Brian, yeah, I asked. I am, but see, my strategy, I don't know if you're still there or can hear that, but this is already up on Zeni 62 on YouTube. And so my intent here is for content, not for questions. And if I want to ask, the reason is very simple. The number of beat writers that cover Georgia football and have a personal relationship with the players, and I feel that in this specific instance, and I'll explain why I say in this specific instance, you said, whoops, I'm too late. In this specific instance, I don't want to get in their way. Now, at the draft level, it's a different story. I've covered the NFL draft since 2005. And what happens is that when someone comes up, this is in a standard pre-pandemic bricks and mortar situation. These guys they're kids, all right? And they're young men, but they are nervous. Even the ones who say they're not are just being cocky. They don't know what to expect. So over the years, I have developed the habit of simply asking one question that relaxes every draftee that comes out. How do you feel? And that gets them, revved up to say something, because what'll happen is you have some press people that, and this is going to happen this year, who are beat for that college. And what'll happen though is once they're done, the number of questions, depending on who you're talking about, will go down. Okay. And they may wind up with one question asked, and you can see the look on their face like, hey, nobody wants to talk with me. Why? I've seen that look on the face of student athletes, and I find it depressing. And I remember when it happened back in 2007, 2008, actually, when I'm the first person to actually cover the NFL draft with the YouTube channel. That was in 2006. And I'm the first to take a live stream, you cover with live stream. Now I partnered with Ustream in 2007. So I've seen a lot. I probably have more NFL draft YouTube videos than every single person or media outlet. When I say NFL draft videos, I mean from on site. Okay. I don't mean videos about the draft or player highlights or anything like that, but I mean actually being there. Okay. Going all the way back to 2006. So my interest is in establishing a content library. That's what this is about. It's not knowing more than one player or anything else. That's got nothing to do with it. I'm running a company, a C Corp, a Delaware company that produces content. That's what we do. And we distribute it faster than anybody else. So this is already up and out. What I find particularly annoying is to go to, say, the combine last year. You have all these beat reporters out there. You know where they're giving free content to? Twitter. Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey, who I'm acquainted with. I was at the Twitter launch party in 2006, all right, as a guest. You guys are giving free content to Twitter. You don't have stock in Twitter, so you don't get anything from it. And then ultimately you get fired from your jobs because of lack of revenue. And basically you're feeding the process that causes the death of your own jobs. All right? That's stupid. I'm just going off on a little bit of a rant here because it is, if you're going to make media, make it for your own channel, make sure your channels are monetized so you at least come away with something, all right? Make sure you have a corporate structure so that someone can invest in it. But the way media is done today is wrong, and what's more worse, if there is such a term, and I just created it, is for people to justify it with, well, that person knows X or that person knows Y. At the end of the day, nobody really cares, okay? What matters in terms of how I keep score is the amount of content that I'm able to produce and present better, cheaper, faster. That's what it's about. So there you go. I know it's a long-winded answer. You probably left, but I wanted to get it on record regarding my approach. And because a lot of people aren't doing it, and the practice as it's done today is killing media. All right. So with that, what do I think of Georgia Pro Day? Wow, another group of outstanding student athletes, and oh hey Brian, you're very welcome. Thank you. Another outstanding group of athletes that I can't wait to see what happens in the draft. I want to see how they shake out. We got the pro days tomorrow. We've got Cal and Stanford. They're actually at the same time, so I'm going to be doing dual computer. One at Cal, my school, go Bears. The other at Stanford, featuring my friend David Shaw, one of the best coaches of our time. So I can't wait and for that. But back to Georgia and talking about Georgia. Their DBs, you could, between Georgia and Georgia Tech, you could draft a good set of DBs as rookies and I think produce a playoff caliber team. I really do. And it may be, hey, look, it might be an interesting strategy to do. At this time, you have NFL rosters that are going through these enormous shakeups because of the revenue reductions that were experienced because of the pandemic, right? The conventional wisdom seems to be, let's get the wily, crafty veterans, for a cheap price. Understood. But how about replicating the Bill Walsh model? And this is something I'm just thinking about, right? How about saying, hey, why don't we put 4 rookies out there? Because many of these rookies now, I argue, are actually better trained than Carlton Williamson, Ronnie Lott, and Eric Wright with the Niners when they started. Remember that? And so it's a passing league more than it ever has been in college. So I'm quite impressed with those players, particularly the DBs. And the SEC leads other than the Pac-12 and just DBs. But because in Pac-12, you've got to go up against all kinds of different offenses. You've got your air raid mix. You've got the more Oregon style of offense. And there's a lot of innovation coming out of the Pac-12. A lot of innovation coming out of the SEC too, right? Not putting anyone down. Lots of fun at the college football level. It's the college football offenses are actually leading the way in terms of design and innovation, and they're going up to the NFL, not the reverse. So if you get a player from the SEC in particular, you're getting the best, and you're getting people that recognize on defense. They're going to recognize fronts. Not fronts, but they recognize formations. The other way, you're getting players at center going to recognize fronts and how to adjust to them. it's a fair bet that Trey Hill has faced all kinds of defensive stunts. He knows what calls to make and everything else. That's the kind of guy you want. And that's the kind of guy you're going to get. I'm a little concerned about the injury part, which means he'll probably go, second or third, right? But look, when I think center, I think brains. Some people say that the hardest position on the offensive line is right guard or left tackle. I think that's a joke. The hardest position is center, because you got to do one thing really well that nobody else does. You have to tell everybody else where to line up, and you got to do it on the fly. All right. And it's today not enough to just do that. Suppose you make a call and then the defense shifts. Let's say they shift from odd front to even front. Let's say they shift to a pinch. Okay. Depending on what play you run, are you running an outside pitch? Fine. Then you can take out the full block and then just go, full on, inside zone. But, outside zone, right? So, okay, but you have to make that decision on the fly, and the coaches have to set you up properly mentally to make that adjustment. And, the old saying in football is, well, you can't think too much. But at center, you have to have a combination of thinking and reacting brain-wise, and you're mindful of the fact that you're doing it not just for yourself, but for the other four offensive linemen with you, okay? So, and if the tight end is involved in, depending on the team, some teams don't do this, but if the tight end is involved in your line call, the tight end too, right? So, center is complex. And so for my money, I like Trey Hill. And it's going to be interesting. All right, folks, I'm going to sign off. It's almost 3 hours of screen time. Thank you for watching. And tomorrow we'll be back with Cal and Stanford. Subscribe to Zeni62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNow.com. And before I leave, each one of these player appearances and the ones from Georgia Tech will be separated into individual YouTube videos right here in Zeni62. I'll have that by Friday, if not before. All right, see ya. Hey, thank you, Brian. See ya. That ends this broadcast.